Hello and welcome to the Snow Show. This is the show about snow.
Here we are next to some rails in the terrain park at Falls Creek, and you've got to be good to be able to slide along a piece of metal at speed and stay on your feet.
It is a pretty crazy concept, and it does look like a whole lot of fun. And some of these guys, they're looking pretty good.
They are.
We should give it a go.
First, what's in today's show?
Okay, Elise and I take you to Cardrona Resort in New Zealand, South Island.
Marcus has another snow driving tip for you.
But up first, Ramona and I are off to Canada to Apex Mountain Resort in British Columbia.
Last time, we were living it up at Panorama Ski Resort in British Columbia, Canada, the resort that offers all the snow sport activities you can dream of. This time, we're heading west to Penticton, a beautiful lakeside town only 380 kilometres east of Vancouver. Arriving at dusk, we took in the scenery before punching up the mountain a half-hour drive to one of Canada's most hidden treasures, Apex Mountain Resort. We woke to find ourselves in a tiny village nestled at the base of a spectacular ski hill. Fortunately for us, an incredible 40 centimetres of new snow had just fallen, even though it was late spring. Conditions were looking spectacular.
We were keen to hit the slopes, so local skiers James Shellman and Jeff Plant took us out to show us around the mountain. Apex has over 600 metres of vertical skiing, 67 trails and 5 lifts, including one high-speed quad chairlift that in under 6 minutes will deliver you right to the top for some spectacular views. From here you can access over 450 hectares of awesome four-line skiing and boarding. Apex is known as a locals mountain, but feels and skis more like a destination resort. The four of us decided to hit the steep stuff, and with 36% advanced terrain, Apex has more than its fair share of challenges. James is one of those Canadians that could ski before he could walk. Jeff, originally a ski instructor from Hotham in Australia, is now General Manager of Apex Mountain. Both are mad keen skiers and know the best places to go. So Ramona and I were happy to tag along and enjoy the pow.
By the end of the steeps, we were grateful for the groom cruiser that led us back to the chairlift. If you're not into the steeps and deeps, then Apex has plenty of awesome rolling intermediate terrain that is groomed to perfection. We decided to head over to a run called the Gun Barrel, a name that we'd be hearing many times over by the end of our stay. This long, steep, double diamond run was as straight as a shotgun. Too bad if you fall, as everyone can see your entire run from top to bottom. We had a chat with our guides to find out more about why they were attracted to Apex.
Well, that's the beauty part of it, is that Apex is really, it's kind of known a little bit like a locals mountain, where locals just rave about it. They come here for, a week and they end up staying for a couple seasons. They never leave. It's kind of what happened to me. It's what's happened to Jeff, our GM. We all just kind of, oh yeah, we'll check this out for a couple of years or a year, and all of a sudden you just fall in love with it. And our guests find the same thing when they come here for, maybe a couple days or whatever, and then they just keep coming back year after year, because it's kind of addictive here.
James definitely has his work priorities sorted.
I thought, you know what, it'd be so much fun if I was kind of the guy that was partly in the office, partly out of the office. You could be behind the scenes when you wanted. When it was raining, it's like, oh yeah, I got a lot of work to do on the computer today. I got to be out there, when the snow was this blizzardy, when
And then on powder days?
And then, well, the next day after the big, huge dump, it's like, yeah, I got to go out and figure out what the snow quality is like, so I know what to sell, right?
Everything's done in the office for now.
Yeah.
At the other table, Charlie and Jeff were having their own Aussie chinwag.
You used to be a ski instructor at Mount Hotham. You're now General Manager of Apex Resort. How does that happen?
Can't believe it, mate. Somebody gave me the keys to a ski resort, and I've been doing it for 6 years. It's phenomenal. But basically, the career path there was ski instructor to ski school director to marketing, got out of the ski business, I had a brewery for a couple of years.
Oh,
Which
you've
is-
had all the perfect
What's more
jobs.
natural than an Aussie boy having a brewery?
Maybe an Aussie boy running a ski resort?
There you go. So that was the path, and you know, started off up here, and you know, the owners here were looking for somebody that had a good background in the ski industry, and I was in town, and there's the magic.
Up next, more on Canada.
Saying goodbye to the fellas, Charlie and I decided to take advantage of the long daylight hours and try out the adventure ice skating loop. Under the moonlight, Charlie and I explored the 1 kilometre long ice loop that they maintain with a real Zamboni and is open every night until 11 p.m. during winter. It sure is a surreal experience to ice skate through a forest. Always the competitive one, Charlie just had to have a race. Maybe I should have got my elbow out. Oh well, there's still some hope that I can do a Bradbury.
Next, it was to the Tube Park. Apex Mountain has the adventure activities down pat, and they ain't your usual little kiddie rides. Some quick instruction and then we were off. This was a whole lot of fun. Oh, my ears. Maybe the full moon had something to do with the howling. Tube parks are showing up at most modern ski resorts around the world, and it's easy to see why. Come on, girls, how about a bit of noise? Ramona and I could have stayed on the tube hill all evening. However, night skiing was calling. We had the slope almost to ourselves, and the pitch was just perfect to lay down some speedy turns. The snow conditions were just incredible. We were like kids in a candy store. Skiing all day and night certainly makes for a good appetite. So with the snow arriving, we decided to head to the notorious Gun Barrel Saloon. This restaurant and bar is the main watering hole for Apex locals and visitors. It definitely has a well-lived-in, welcoming feel, and there is plenty of interesting wall decorations to check out. The dentist's chair is a gun barrel fixture that has been around for years. If you want to get to know the locals, this is a real icebreaker. I'm sure most people that are sat in this chair haven't come to get their teeth pulled. Moving from the saloon into the restaurant, we were told that we just had to try gun barrel coffee. Our waiter was Wendell, a local of 20 years, and he put on a real show for us. This is definitely one of the best coffees I've ever tasted.
Keep watching the snow show.
The next morning, Charlie and I decided to go for a snowshoe. We set off into the unknown, just across the valley from the ski area. Snowshoeing certainly gives you time to reflect.
Don't you think Apex has got an awesome feel? We've only been here a few days and I already feel like a local.
Oh, totally. Like, we know our waitress by first name, bartender, lodge owner, the lifties.
Yeah, well, it does help when you've got one main place to hang out at the end of the day.
Yeah, the Gun Barrel Saloon.
Yeah, that's cool.
Do you know, for the last 11 years, it's been voted best ski pub in Canada?
11 years in a row. No wonder we have so much fun there. Back on the slopes with Jeff and Chris, we were keen to go search for some untouched powder.
Well, we're going to go out and ski one of Apex's best kept secrets over here on Secondary Ridge. You can see it behind me, all those steep lines coming down off the first ridge line.
Just this first one?
We'll probably go into a run called Taster's Choice, and behind me over there you can see the area where we're actually going to expand the resort, and that's actually Apex proper over there. So we'll be opening up hopefully another 750 acres of skiable terrain in all of those steep lines in that back bowl there.
The expansion possibilities here are just mind-blowing. Not wasting time, we headed out the gate to see if this backcountry powder was really as good as Jeff said it was. Here's a little tip for all you hikers. If you hang towards the back of the group and let the others break trail, it's much easier walking. We got the okay for safety, then let it rip. Talk about great backcountry powder turns at Apex. We were in heaven. With the adrenaline still pumping from our powder turns on Secondary Ridge, we cruise back along an easy cat track to the village. There's no rest for the wicked. It was off to the terrain park to catch up with 18-year-old local snowboarder, Braden Dean. Braden didn't technically work for the ski area, he just loved being involved with the terrain park.
Well, me and some of the locals did a lot of the design this year. Made sure that there's better flow in it.
So what's the process of designing a park? To sit there with crayons and take pictures?
That was a bit of it. Mostly, it was just a lot of people that had ridden a lot of different parks, and we tried to not so much imitate what other people had done, but use some of the ideas of setting stuff up, so it was staged.
This is one talented snowboarder.
There's no better way to wind down after a long day on the slopes than in an outdoor hot tub. We were staying at the Saddleback Lodge, which was where the Australian women's aerial team stayed when they were training for the 2002 Olympic Winter Games. The rooms were cosy and the hospitality was exceptional, just like a home away from home. Of course, we had to head back to the Gun Barrel Saloon just one last time before we left. I got to meet some of the local girls, and we even received some local entertainment.
Sidestep and snowplow, get out of my way. You're wrecking my powder.
It was time to leave Apex. We felt like we were leaving a whole host of new family and friends, but we had a flight to catch. This time we're flying south to the United States, to the Teton Range and the cowboy resort of the rich and famous Jackson Hole in Wyoming. But that's another story that you'll have to tune in next time to see. If you like what you have just seen and would love to ride Apex for yourself, then here is a great deal we can offer you through SkiMax. Have a blast at Apex from $3,152 per person, which includes return flights to Kelowna, transfers to Apex, 7 nights at Apex Mountain Inn, and a 6-day lift pass. Conditions apply. Go on, hit your peak. Call SkiMax on 1300 136 997 or visit skimax.com.au.
Train park's looking pretty good.
Sure is, Charlie. Up next, Marcus has another driving tip for you.
Now it's time for another tip to help with your driving in the snow. Last time we looked at driving through poor visibility. This time we're looking at driving down the hill. Now I know I say this over and over again, but the most important rule in the mountains on a snow-covered road is take your time. Avoid using the brakes, because brakes you can go into a slide. So drive in a gear that keeps you at a nice slow speed. The steeper the hill, the lower the gear. Keep a safe distance from any vehicle in front of you, even more than you would normally expect at the speed you are traveling. Brake as little as possible and never expect to do all your stopping when you arrive at a give way or stop. Give yourself space to stop. It's all common sense really, but every year I still see people sliding off the road or rear-ending another car. Next time, we're going to be looking at the unexpected dangers on a clear road in the snow. Until then, happy driving.
Up next, we head to New Zealand.
On our South Island tour, Elise and I stopped to sample Cardrona Ski Resort, located between Queenstown and Wanaka. Before leaving Queenstown, we took the ride up the Skyline gondola to check out the view. What goes up must come down.
At Cardrona, we were joined by local boy Bruce McLaughlin and managed to get in a couple of runs before the storm that had been threatening for the past week finally approached. We drove down the mountain, stopping in at the iconic Cardrona Hotel before heading back to Wanaka.
Pretty as a postcard, Wanaka is nestled amongst spectacular mountains on the shores of Lake Wanaka. This area boomed during the 1860s gold rush and still booms every winter as the service town for Cardrona, Treble Cone and Snow Farm ski areas.
Wanaka is home to Puzzling World, an interesting and eccentric visitor attraction. It is a puzzle theme park. There's the Forced Perspective Room and the Illusion Room, which really challenges your perception of level. Then there's the Great Maze.
Let's get lost.
2 stories high, with 1.5 kilometres of passages, taking on average 1 hour to find your way through. Having worked both mind and body, it was time to unwind. We chose Oak Ridge Spa and Pool Resort. Imagine, not 1, but 7 hot, bubbling spas, blended beautifully into the rock landscaping. Add 2 pools, saunas, and a massage, and there's a recipe for true relaxation.
Next morning, the storm had delivered, and we went exploring the wide-open intermediate slopes that comprise more than half of Cardrona's runs. For learners, there is 3 magic carpets, and it has children's facilities that are second to none. Those wanting a little more action will not be disappointed. Cardrona is renowned for its natural dry snow, and there is plenty to be found in its many chutes. Half pipes, a gravity cross course and terrain park trails also make it a popular playground with freestyle skiers and boarders. 2 terrain park trails feature at least 25 jib features and jumps.
So, Charlie, what do you think about Cardrona?
Well, I think it's a pretty fun place, Elise. These 2 bowls with a little bit of fresh snow I've had this morning has been great fun. I've had a good time.
And there's 4 half pipes.
Yeah, including this huge super pipe, which is a bit of fun too.
Awesome.
But do you know what I like most about Cardrona?
You tell me.
Is the fact that you can stay on mountain, which I think is pretty cool.
Very nice.
Want to ski Wanaka? Well, you can. Snow Show with Ski Max have a great deal for you to ski New Zealand South Island. Stay in Wanaka from $1,214 per person, which includes return flights to Christchurch, 7 days economy car hire, 7 nights at Oak Ridge Resort, and a 4-day lift pass. Conditions apply. Go all white with the All Blacks. Call Ski Max on 1300 136 997 or visit skimax.com.au.
Well, that's it for the Snow Show this week.
Charlie and I have had such a great time in the terrain park at Falls Creek this morning that we're going to take the chopper across to Hotham to ski for the afternoon.
And how convenient is this? With one ticket, in one day, you can ski 2 resorts. In fact, I feel like a bit of a rock star jumping on a chopper and going to another ski area.
Rockstar? Charlie in your dreams. If you've seen anything in the show that you'd like to know more about, head to our website.
Snowshow.tv. And remember, the best way to enjoy winter is in the snow.
Bye for now.
Fraser and Two and a Half Men go back-to-back in an all-new hour of laughs from 7:30 Tuesday on Channel 9. Next, it's the World Swimming Championship highlights, thanks to Nine's Wide World of Sports.